Welcome back to another episode of the podcast, From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. I am your host, Chris Swiech, and on this podcast, we talk about mental health, addictions, ADHD, and really anything anyone's afraid to talk about, we talk about it on the show. I believe everyone's story is valuable at the end of the day. Does not matter what walk of life you come from, you're all welcome on my platform. Go hit me up over on my YouTube channel, From the Depths of Darkness to the Light of Success. Smash that subscribe button, turn on your notifications, and head over to my Instagram page at Depths of Darkside. With no further ado, I'd love to introduce to you my next guest. I got Teré Harris, aka Syndicate the Gun. Please welcome him to the episode. You want to let him know a little bit about you and what you're all about, Teré?
Yes, my name is Teré Harris. My stage name is Syndicate the Lonely Gun. I am a recording artist and a motivational speaker from Lubbock, Texas. And I've been writing music since 2003. I've been a motivational speaker on accident since probably 2012 or 2013, but I guess we came across this because I just started to notice, like, man, how many sad people are walking around, and what can I do to provide some type of value to the planet? If I'm a rapper, if I'm a singer, then by default, in some kind of way, not only am I a role model, but I am a motivational speaker. I decide whether or not if I put the negative energy out or the positive energy. But I don't just want to be known as the recording artist. I want to go and speak out to the masses. But in short, this is who I am.
I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show and share a little bit about your story and what you're all about, man. I want to break into what is your purpose and your why?
My purpose is to inspire people, to inspire more people. The reason why I want to do that is because, like I said, it's so many people who are either openly sad or secretly sad. I want to help other people tap into their purpose because everybody has a purpose. I believe that destiny is not nothing that can be written down by another person. You decide what your destiny is. You decide what your purpose is. And you can have more than one purpose.
100%, man. It's not just about one thing in life. If you have a whole purpose, like I thought my purpose was just to be destructive. That was what my purpose was in the old Chris. Just fucking shit up basically. But there's a whole other purpose to me out here, and it was when I started this podcast was helping others come out of their shell and share that story that they have, because everyone has a story and it is valuable.
So you went from being the kicker of the sandcastle to the builder of the sandcastle.
Something like that. And I'm still learning to build, and it's so much fun, and it's amazing to see growth in this podcast and in myself since becoming clean and sober.
You battled with addiction at one point in your life.
I still battle with addiction today because I have so many different addictions. When you have this addictive addiction mentality or addiction gene in you, per se, it comes in so many different areas of life, whether it's addiction to podcasting, addiction to gambling, addiction to drugs, alcohol. It comes full throttle, or smoking cigarettes. It's not like just this person that's not battling with drug addiction or something like that. It's a whole different ball game with me and cigarettes. I need that cigarette or I need this to calm my nerves. Meanwhile, it's all a mental game though.
I think that not all addictions are bad. At the phase in life that me and you are both in now, I'm addicted to helping. I'm addicted to, let's say there's nothing wrong with getting a little validation here and there. I'm addicted to making you smile. I'm addicted to making you laugh. That's why when you go to my YouTube channel, Syndicate the Lonely Guy, shameless plug. When you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see the music. You'll see me making you laugh. You'll see the sketch comedy. And ever so often, I sneak in little tidbits of motivational speech. I pull you in with the music. I pull you in with the laughter and the comedy. And before you know it, you actually learn about life.
And then how did you build this brand? How did you create your brand and what does it mean to you, Trey?
Okay, the two-part question, I'll segment it out. How did I discover my brand? In the process of just writing music just to get myself out of a dark place, I'm like, I'm just going to write words in the form of rhyme. This is how I feel. And that was my form of therapy because at the time, there was no such thing as go pay a person to listen to your problems. We couldn't even think of that where I came from in the city of Lubbock, Texas. So I had to write music to write my way out of these bad situations. And fast forward to 2019, when I started to learn to edit my own videos, I started to realize, man, am I a motivational speaker? Like, I have more stuff to say. Like, I start sneaking in children's book, like, hey, this is brought to you by my favorite book that I like to read my daughter. Hold on, I went off on a tangent. You said, what was the two-part question again?
How did you create your brand and what does it mean to you?
I created it by trying to heal myself. And in the process of trying to heal myself, I found out, hey, I'm not alone on this journey. Now that I start to climb up a little bit, I have to reach back. I have to reach down and help the people who went through it just like me, who don't know which way is up. And what is it?
And what are you healing from?
What am I healing?
What was it that you were healing from?
Sadness from my childhood, and just looking outside and observing my environment and seeing just how much people are sad and how we deal with, can I say the S word? Like, when
You can say whatever you want to, man.
suicide, how many young men just constantly think of suicide because it's an easier way out than just dealing with life, and how I've had suicidal thoughts. And I imagine every man has battled with suicidal thoughts, whether he says it or not. And I'm like, I've got to give you another option. If I can help you laugh it out, I'm gonna try it. If I'm gonna help you cry it out, I'm gonna try it. If I'm whatever I could, that's my mission. That's how I discovered my mission, by helping myself and discovering I'm not the only one on this journey, and just getting on camera and showing you that it's okay to cry about it. It's okay to laugh about it. But after we cry and we laugh about it, what's the solution? And that's where my channel came from.
And what let's dig a little deeper there. What were some of the traumas and the sadness that you just talked about from your childhood, if we don't mind bringing it up, and so we can paint a picture where Teré came from?
All right. What were the traumas? Being outcasted as a child, being the oldest of three from my mother, being the middle child from my father. I'm one of seven. My father has seven children. My mother has three children. From my mother, I am the oldest of three. At some point during my life, both of my parents decided that they were going to treat me completely different than they treated my sisters. If you go to my younger sister's closet back in the early 2000s, you see they have clothes, racks. You go to my closet, I'm in the eighth grade. I'm already getting made fun of because I'm wearing hand-me-downs from a cousin who I am bigger than. It's funny, but it's not funny. I laugh at it now. I could not laugh at it then. So when I look at having to recycle different shirts, recycle from 3 or 4 different shirts, recycle from 2 pair of pants, recycle from a couple of socks and 1 pair of shoes, realizing how different they treated me versus my sister, that created a lot of pain in my life, a lot of anger, resentment toward my parents. And I didn't know how much I hated both of my parents all the way up into my teenage life, all the way up to the death of my mother and beyond that. And I had to write my way out of it, to deal with it when I had no therapist. Syndicate the Lonely Gun is my therapist. He's not just my stage name. That's why that character is so important to me.
And was that a hard time for you when your mother passed away though too? Did it take you a while to grieve that and get over that with everything that had gone on in your childhood?
Sadly, because I had hated my mother so much throughout my childhood, my teenage life, and my young adulthood, I had the fortunate opportunity to tell her exactly how I felt about her, exactly why I was so angry with her before she died. And because I had hated her so much at the time when I was a teenager, and because I hated my father so much, it wasn't that hard on me in 2008 when she died. So after the funeral, I cried one time. I cried because we never had a chance to get close, or she never took the opportunity to get close to me. After that, I'm like, if she didn't want it, then I guess it's not supposed to happen, which is why I hold my daughter so close, because I would never want my daughter to feel the way I felt when I was a teen.
And it doesn't sound like you got the you didn't get that closure that you wanted though too, but you've learned how to become resilient and bounce back and live a life full of happiness and the things you've created today.
Yes, yes. Or at least it would appear that way. I smile. And here's one thing that comedians or content creators don't tell you. When you start to notice them drop off for so many months, that's an attack on their mental health. When they go from dropping content every week, every day to, man, I didn't see that dude for 7 months, man. You don't know what he's going through. I'm making you smile every day. I'm making you laugh every day, but who makes me laugh? The people who laugh the most are the people who cry the most on the inside. Check on your friend's mental health.
I love that you say that, man. It's so true. We must check in on one another. There's times where I just, go astray from the social media world because it can be an evil place. Social media can be. So be kind to people too. That's what I'm hearing here.
You must. And those are part of my lessons. I have a playlist on my YouTube channel called My Message to the Universe. So if you want to skip straight to the motivational side of my YouTube channel, I have 4 videos in that playlist. And you can take a look at each title and choose the one that fits better for you. But I would strongly suggest anybody who's fighting it, whether you want to talk to somebody or not, please click on that video and just digest the information because I'm not a teacher. I wouldn't consider myself a mentor. Hopefully I can be one day. Man, I'm just a work in progress. That's all I am.
And what is the benefit of connecting with different people who have different skill sets than you? What would be the benefit for connecting with everyone?
Number one, realizing that I don't know everything. And number, I want to constantly
Say that again, man. Repeat that for the people in the back.
realizing that I don't know everything. I'm pointing to the people in the back, realizing there's nobody behind me. Realizing that I don't know everything, humbling myself and realizing the only way that I'm going to improve, let's say I'm on a weight bar. If I keep working out with the same 30 pounds, 30-pound dumb bars, now that's pretty heavy. 15-pound dumb bars. I'm like this. Dumbbells. I said dumb bars. Dumbbells, 15 pounds for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're not getting stronger because you need more weight. You need more weight to get stronger. So take that mentally. I think I'm so strong because I deal with so much weight. So realizing that I don't know everything or wanting to improve myself, being around, not being afraid to admit that, hey, you're better than me at something. You can teach me something. I want to be around you. Kyle, he's better than me. He could teach me something. I'm going to gravitate toward him. Next thing you know, you have a circle of mentors. You're getting better at this, that. And if you ever play any type of video game, let's say WWE or UFC, you notice you have stats, you have strength, you have speed, you have stamina, recovery, and all of that. So when I look at Kyle, I get recovery. When I look at Calvin, I get speed, I get stamina, and I try to get all of my stats as close to 90% overall as possible. That's why it's so important to have a good circle around you.
100%, man. Or I've heard from other people though too. If you want to be like someone, study them. Go study someone that you want to be like. If you want to be like Gary Vee, if you want to be Gabor Mate, which is a huge advocate for mental health and addictions over here in Canada. Huge. He's all around the world. Huge physician doctor. But study the things that interest you, but do it for over a long period of time for a month or 2 straight and get in the mind of that person to be like that person.
Not only that, if I can add a little detail and just build on what you said, reach out to them. Take your pride out the way. Reach out to the person that you want to emulate, that somebody that you admire. Ask them for the knowledge. How did you acquire this knowledge? How can I acquire this knowledge? And most of the time, these multimillionaires, these multi-billionaires, they will give you game for absolutely no charge. They will give you wisdom for free. They might not give you $900, but they can give you $900 worth of good wisdom that can help you take the next step toward wherever you want to go in life. Ask for the help. How did you acquire that? What steps can I take to acquire that?
Exactly. And if you don't hear back from them, that's okay too. But you study that person, or it doesn't just come overnight. Things just aren't handed to you on a golden platter anymore. And that's the thing with this younger generation coming up. People just think it should just be handed to them. And they don't have to do nothing, no work for it. I didn't get to where I am today without having to put the work in, and I'm still putting the work in, and I'm almost 40 years old myself.
Man,
Life doesn't stop for you. Life will keep going. Doesn't matter if you keep going or not. Life's going to keep going.
if I can I add something to that?
You can add whatever you want, man. That's what I love about my show.
For all of my video gamers in the world, you don't get no stripes for beating the game on easy mode. Nobody respects anybody who goes to selects the easiest difficulty. I beat the game 12 times on easy mode. Yeah, but you beat it with cheat codes. You have all of the weapons, all of the handouts, all of the money up front. They gave me $12 billion. And then I was able to start my real estate company. Yes, but what happens if you lose that? Then we have what we might call I might, probably shouldn't say this, the 2020 pandemic. The most hilarious thing about the 2020 pandemic is we all had to go to the same Walmart. There is no Trader Joe's when the apocalypse comes. You have to eat noodles just like us. You have to eat potted meat and spam just like us. And I saw everyone panic. You know who panicked? The people who never had to go through nothing. So that circles back to what I said about easy mode. If you never had the struggle, you're going to panic when the struggle comes. Capital, when the struggle comes. My friend Ray Hudgens Jr., he told me you're in two states in your life. You're approaching a storm or you're in a storm. It's always this or that. I'm coming out of a storm or I'm going into a storm.
And it's all about resilience too.
Mhm.
How are you gonna bounce back from how that happened or what's happened and stuff like that? How are you gonna pull your pants up and say, "I can't just sit down here in the dumps and cry and sob or whatever and give me a sob story and make yourself the victim." Pick those pants up, pick your big boy pants up though, and go out there and work for it. Earn your stripes.
Because no matter how much I cry in the rain, because it just rained a couple 30 minutes ago, I actually had to take my button up shirt off just to get out of the truck, take my tie off, and just walk out in my undershirt, put it back on. I could have cried about it and I could have showed up with raindrops on me. But what does that help? I cry in the rain. All right, here we are in October. Eventually, winter is coming. Whether I cry or whether I laugh, it's going to get cold. What are you going to do when it gets cold? That's what it's about. It's coming regardless. We all will face it.
Exactly.
What will you
Are you
do when the
gonna
next
stay in your
storm comes?
shorts, your t-shirts? Or are you gonna get your winter jacket out, people?
What will you do when the next storm inevitably comes in your life?
You got one choice, man. You either go full throttle into the storm or you deal with the consequences of trying to go around or cleaning up the mess.
The best thing that I've learned about the phrase, I'm going through some things, there's bravery in that statement because I can go around some things. I can go over some things. I can go under some things. But when I go through it, I am I face it bravely. I attack it. Not that I'm fearless, that I'm ignoring how afraid I am. And hey, regardless, this storm is coming. There is no walking around this storm. I'm going through it.
I love it, man. I love that. There's nothing wrong. Just throw on your gear, throw on your battle gear, and I'm going right into the eye of the storm.
Yeah. Nobody respects a football player that doesn't have a dirty helmet with no grass stains. Did you even play? What happened?
You a football player? Exactly.
Is- mm,
It's someone that doesn't have bumps and bruises. I'm a hockey guy too. If you're not down there blocking shots or taking a puck, whatever, off the back of the where there's no padding or taking one for the team in the playoffs and stuff like that. Did you play?
Exactly. Remember back in the days when everything went just absolutely according to plan? Remember when nothing went wrong?
Yeah. When did that
You
happen?
have nothing to, when us Vikings, when we compare our war stories, we laugh about the most painful aspects of our lives. It's not a fun story if you didn't go through nothing. We laugh at
It's
our
so true,
losses.
man. It's so true. If it's like you were saying the other day when we were on a call, it's like listening to those podcasts, but without any heated debates. If everyone agrees, what the hell's the point in talking about it?
I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Chris likes Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's the end of conversation. But if I'm like, no, I'm Fruity Pebbles. Why does you like Fruity Pebbles? I like Fruity Pebbles in comparison to Cinnamon Toast Crunch because now we have a debate. Whether it's heated or whether it's calm, it's a good debate. There is discourse. We need discourse. That's another thing we were talking about, the censorship. And there is no safe space for men to talk about our feelings even though they want us to be more open and vulnerable with our feelings.
There's no safe space for anyone. It's not just men. I totally agree with you, but it's just like anything you bring up, they try to censorship it out on these social media outlets if it's about mental health, addiction, suicide. It's like they don't want anyone to see it oh, it's going against our guidelines.
Don't say that word. How are we
I
supposed
hear
to
you,
have
man.
the hard conversation if every Tuesday it's don't say that word? We'll
Exactly.
ban you from the platform. We'll put you in timeout. We'll put you in Facebook jail. Don't say that word, Facebook jail. Free the homie from Facebook jail. He just did 2 weeks.
Oh yeah. I hear you, man. And we're talking a little bit about ego and stuff. So how do you overcome and get out of the way of your own ego, Teray?
I love that. How do I get out of my own way, overcome my own ego? Man, you start off as a teenager just thinking, and I know everything. I'm the best. I'm the best. You go from that to, man, there are other people just as talented as I can continue to think I'm better than them. But where does that ego get me when we're in a room with each other? I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. And if you don't keep your ego in check, because it's always there. If you don't keep your ego in check, you ruin your opportunity to network with people. He thinks he's better than me. I don't want to work with him. Or I don't think I'm good enough, so I'll never reach out to him. And you don't know, he probably wanted to work with you, but he got too much ego to send you a message, to comment on your picture, to hit the like button. It separates us when our egos are not in check. It's like electricity. We need it, but too much of it in one place, you'll die. You'll cook.
100%, man. It's all about being true to yourself, but you also got to be humbled and being be brought back down to earth and not be so vain and have so much vanity. You got to stop thinking about yourself and start being selfless, not selfish.
The bigger picture is bigger than your feeling. I had that conversation with someone important to me recently. The bigger picture is bigger than your feelings. That's one thing I say to myself. That's one thing I'll say to you. When you hear that word, that phrase, the bigger picture is bigger than your feelings. Can I ask you what comes to mind? What do you take from that?
The bigger picture is bigger than my feelings.
Yes.
It's it's looking outside the box to me, thinking outside the box. And for a long time, it was all Chris, Chris, Chris was the best. Chris only worked about Chris, but I have more people than just Chris. I have animals at home. I have kids. I have a fiance. to go to work every day. I have to treat my coworkers with respect to get respect back. So that's thinking outside the box, thinking about the bigger picture down the road. It's not just, hey, I really want all this nice that I just recently talked to someone called the shiny stuff syndrome. The shiny stuff syndrome where I want to do this, want to do that, want to do everything. But am I thinking about my kids or my fiance? No, I'm just thinking about me there. So you got to start thinking about all those other people that are connected to you as well. It's not just about you anymore.
Exactly. I'll give you a simple analogy. I walk into an elevator and I let off a big fart in 3 o'clock in the daytime. I don't think an elevator is the place you want to fart. That's the most selfish thing that you could possibly do. Because at some point, somebody's going to walk in there. And there's a good chance that when you get to a level 3 where you're trying to get off at, you'll walk out, but somebody has to deal with the consequences. And as hilarious as that analogy is, somebody's going to deal with the consequences of the decision that you just get off of a forklift, but you leave the propane still running. Somebody's walking around, they light the cigarette, boom, blows up. It hardly doesn't happen, but it can happen. Or I'm driving 70 miles per hour. I'm hard headed. I do it every day. Nothing's going to happen to me. Yeah, but I get in a car crash. Imagine I kill 3 people and I survive. The bigger picture is bigger than my feelings. I got to survive. I got to live with the fact I killed 3 people. Why didn't I die? Because I was driving like I'm the only person on the road. That's why I said we got to
I
get
love that.
outside of ourselves. That's what I mean when I say the bigger picture is bigger than our feelings. We have to keep our ego in check. That's the little bit of electricity inside of us. You need it to light up a room, but too much, you will overcook it. You will fry it. It will blow up and it will cease to work. It won't work. It won't exist.
So true, man. Think about others before you think of yourself, man. Put yourself in those people's shoes and think about what they're going through as opposed to what, how is it affecting you? How is it affecting them?
Oh, what I just did or what I'm about to do. That's another thing. How is the action that I'm thinking about doing? I'm about to fart in this elevator. I really got to fart. How is that going to affect this lady with her 3 kids if I walk in this elevator and I walk out after I just farted a cloud in the elevator? They have to deal with it. They have to deal with the repercussions of what I did. And although it's lightweight, it's still very unpleasant. And even on the molecular level, we make a decision that could be very uncomfortable for others, but we're so big into this microwave mentality of self gratification and I need it right now. Me right now. I'm going to cut you off in traffic. I got to get where I want to go right now, not knowing that you probably have a newborn baby in the car. And just because I didn't hit you, there's still a butterfly effect. There's still adverse effects because I swerved. It makes you swerve. I might not have hit you, but you swerved and you hit somebody. I got home safe, but even if you didn't get hurt, you still messed up your car. That's more money out of your account. That's more time that you got to take from work to fix it. And the person behind you got hurt. You didn't get hurt. The person behind you got hurt. All because I needed to get to work 3 minutes faster.
You should have left 10 minutes earlier.
Bigger picture, man.
Yeah.
I'm so hard on
So
myself.
true, man.
I'm so hard on myself. As many times as I said it to you, I say it so many times to myself. Hey, don't fart in that elevator. If you don't take nothing else that I've said today, don't fart in that elevator or fart outside. Go to the bathroom.
Exactly. Don't fart in bed with your wife either.
Are you projecting? Are you projecting? Feminist work, feminist rhetoric. Are you projecting?
Oh, I may be guilty.
Hey, you're not the one on trial.
No, I am not. You're right, man. I want to talk a little bit about fatherhood. How has that been for you and, the supports that you've had out there?
It is a wonderful journey. It's a wonderful journey. I am a single father. And if we're getting on the real side of this, I'm a single father, still battling a custody battle with my daughter's mother. But the fatherhood aspect of it is easy and it's fun. I found out that raising a child is easy. Co-parenting is the hard part. You're two people from two different walks of life that have to figure it out and maybe not agree on everything, but respect each other's opinion enough to know that the big picture bigger than our feelings. And it's hard.
You got to remember you have a little one now involved too. I'm in the same I'm long past my kids. My son's almost 15, my daughter's, 8 this year as well. And well, we co-parent two separate mother. My son's mother and we're not best of friends, but we weren't meant to be together. We're meant to be the way we are, separate lives, and that's okay. And we got to do that for my son. Do what's best for him. And how I raise him at my house and how she does it at her house doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? It unless I see something bad going on, then that's when you step in or whatever. But you keep your mind to yourself. That's how they want to raise them. That's how they want to raise them. But you just do your stuff at your house. Don't worry about what they're doing at their house. So at the end of the day,
You did ask me a question about fatherhood, and there's an element that I did want to throw in. The type of
yeah,
father I
no problem,
am,
man.
I'm 33 years old. I will still jump in that tunnel that I cannot fit in just to run everywhere with my 6-year-old daughter. I want to go everywhere with her. I want to throw water balloons. I want to be active. I don't want to be like this on the bench. Go play. I don't want to be that. You go to the trampoline park, I'm putting the socks on. I pay the $6 for the socks. I jump on with her. I'm active. I'm there with her. And in the playground, you find out that these children are all better people than us because they don't have walls. They don't have internal walls. I don't care how much that little boy stinks. I want to play with him and he's my friend. Man, what if we all carried that mentality? I don't care how fat you are. I don't care how bright you are. I don't care that your goatee reminds me of the X-Men somehow. No distance. But like when the kids look at each other, they just want to play. I just want to be your friend and let's accomplish a certain goal. Let's build sandcastles. because it's so easy to kick it down.
100%, man. And that's the thing. So non-judgmental. They don't judge one another. They just, like you said, want to play. I go to the park with my daughter all the time, and all she just wants to do is just play with other kids, whether they're younger than her, older than her. They just all want to play and just enjoy life. And it ceases to amaze me the way some kids are though with one another. There are so many bullies out there though too.
And bullying is learned. It's not built in us. We're not born as bullies. We are born as social creatures, just like this, just like the dolphin is, just like the killer whale is. We were born to wake up and want to be friends and want to talk and socialize and communicate with each other. But as soon as I see you in public, if we were kids, I want to play with Chris. I'm 33, you're 47. I don't know how old you are, but we're both grown men. We see each other in public now. I'm going to look for reasons not to trust you. That's why I say children are better than us. They don't look for reasons not to trust. Day by day, their parents get to them. Parents' ideologies get to them. Don't trust Calvin because XYZ. Don't trust Alicia because XYZ. That's not built
It's
in
true.
us
It
as
all
children.
starts with the parents, though. It's true. Manipulating them and those types of it happens all the time. It's crazy.
But naturally, we do want to love each other and naturally, we want to help each other. I come from Lubbock, Texas. In 2017, I found out the most beautiful thing, the reason why I will never move out of the state of Texas, because you remember what happened in 2017 was Hurricane Harvey. I still have videos of that. When we really needed help, we didn't wait for the government. Somebody with a boat, a real person that was not attached to any government association, got in his boat and went to go help somebody, then got to another location and came back to help more people. That was the state of Texas. That was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And if we could all do that on a regular day, not just in moments of crisis, on a Tuesday, it's Wednesday. If we could all do that on a Wednesday, I help you because I see you suffering. We would be better people. It would be a better world. And this is what I strive for ultimately. That's my purpose, to help everyone realize that.
I love that, man. I love that about you. Just helping one another, being kind. It all brings me back to being kind to one another. You never know what someone else is going through. Again, if you're walking down the street, say hi to people. Just say hi. How are you? How are you doing today? You never know what kind of response you're gonna get. Maybe you won't get a response at all. On to the next person. You may get an awesome story out of them too, and maybe a 10, 20-minute chat and a story that just blows your mind away. And you learn something about someone then that way.
Every
I
time
love
I
it.
walk into a gas station and some man opens the door for his wife and then still holds it open for me, he doesn't owe me that. And I found out that doesn't happen in every city you go to, where a man will hold the door for his wife, his kids, grandma, and then you. We don't know each other. I make sure, hey, salute, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Or I'll get the door for him on the way out. Those small acts of kindness go such a long way, because you don't know if you might run into him again in another situation. And I remember you. You held the door open for me, or you let me cut in line that one day, or you just did something nice for me. You saw me fall and you picked me back up.
I love it, man. It's true. Random acts of kindness. Do them every day, people. Doesn't have to be on a Wednesday. Doesn't have to be on a Sunday. You can do it whenever you want. Do it every day. It makes you feel better as a person, and you make someone else feel amazing as well. So it's a win-win for everyone.
It's a beautiful feeling, man, to just help somebody. Because Carlos Miller, one of my favorite comedians, he said sometimes the biggest blessing is to be the blessing. You don't always have to do in hopes of getting the blessing in return. The blessing is being the blessing. You help somebody. What if you help somebody and now they're inspired to go help some other people? That boomerangs back to my original thought. I'm inspiring people to inspire people. That's my blessing. If you go and help somebody because of something I told you, I win. And I could die after that. I could die happy after that. I started a cycle of positivity. I can't say it. A cycle of positivity. I can live with that and I can die with that.
It's so true, man. Today, money, yes, you need money to pay your bills. You need money to live. You need money to buy your groceries, but the money doesn't buy happiness.
It might buy a couple of things that'll make you happy for a little while. It's always temporary because happiness does
That's all
this.
instant gratification, the ebbs and flows.
Happiness has gravity. Gravity is attached to every piece of happiness. You'll go up, you'll come back down. You'll go up, you'll come back down.
I love it, man. I want to circle a little bit back. My last question here before we get going, Teray. But what is the importance of support groups for fathers, in your opinion?
What is the importance of it? We all need it. And we all need it when you don't know that how bad you need it. What's the importance of it? How can I say this? It's very important because we all going through something. You don't know what I'm going through. I don't know what you're going through, but we're going through it. We're going through a storm and we're going to a storm. We're going through a storm and we're going to a storm. But what's the importance of a support group? We need a support group every walk of life because you don't know what somebody is going through. All I know is I want to be the best version of myself to help people and show people it's okay to be sad. It's okay to say there's something wrong with me and I want to try to fix it. That's the bravest thing that you can do. Because as a man, we have so much testosterone and we're so afraid. Our number one fear is looking weak in the presence of a woman. It's not so much looking weak in the presence of other men because you roast me all the time. But if a woman roasts me, I'm like, all right, we walk with every man. He holds the fate of mankind on his shoulders because you know that mankind is between his legs. If I don't make this first move on this lady, or if she's not attracted to me, I won't be able to start the next generation of children that'll be here after we leave. So I'm afraid to express my vulnerability because if she looks at me as a weak man, or if I don't look as the super Hulk Hogan alpha man that she pictured in her head, then she won't have kids with me. She won't start a family with me, and I will cease to exist. I won't be remembered in this world. When we think about our biggest fears in this world, it's like looking weak in front of other people. That's why we don't talk about mental health. I don't want to look weak in front of you. But the importance of support groups is just, man, it's just hard to put into words. Mainly because he blindsided me, and that was a really good question. It was a really good question. I'm sorry. I
I
want to
appreciate that, man.
articulate it the best I can, but this is real time. We need them. All I know is that we need them, and we need to create even more of them. Just like we need to
100%, man. We have the internet too. So use those types of things to your advantage, whether it's looking up a YouTube video or creating your own little network on, whether you created a once a week meeting for fathers as well. Those types of things. You can do so many things, but reach out into your community. Start the group if you need to.
I have the answer. The importance is the opportunity that's what I'm gonna stick with. The opportunity to heal. We all deserve the opportunity to heal. And with a support group, there's somebody in there with the opportunity to heal. There's somebody with a first aid kit. There's somebody with what's that thing called? You rub it together, you say clear, and then you get them in the chest and you wake them back up.
I know what you're talking
I
about.
can't say the word. Watch, I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna wake up like,
I just call them the paddles.
yes, but that thing, somebody in the comments just say it, but by the time you type it, I'm gonna already have it in my head. Defibrillator kit, bring you back to life. Somebody has that, all right? Somebody knows CPR, and that's what a support group is. I might not know CPR, but you do. You might not have the defibrillator, but I do. We might not have alcohol, but he does. Somebody has a Band-Aid, and that's the first aid kit. That's what the support group is, the first aid kit. And inside of this first aid kit is the opportunity to heal. And we all deserve the opportunity to heal. And this is why we must create support groups. We must create more support groups, but especially mental health for men, because there's mental health for everybody but us. There's mental health for young puppies somewhere. There's mental health for children. But what about us? We are the forgotten ones. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and do construction. Shut up and finish tripping pipe at this dangerous oil field site. But we don't talk about what that does to him. Shut up and box. Take these punches to the face. Put the mouthpiece on and take this uppercut from Mike Tyson and don't you cry about it. You come back with CTE, when you come back from taking this hit from this middle linebacker, don't talk about how much it hurt you mentally to deal with that. Don't talk about your problems with your kids while you was gone throughout the Super Bowl. Yeah, you won the Super Bowl, but what did you lose while you were gone? And nobody wants to talk about that, about losing the contact, not the contact, but losing a relationship with your kids because of how much we sacrifice. That's why support groups are so important. We can finally talk about how I feel about all the sacrifices I made and what it did, the successes as well as the downfalls.
I love that, man. It's so true. The support group, there's always someone there that needs to heal at the end of the day. And that someone could be you, could be me, or you could just be helping someone with your inspiring story as well. So I truly believe we need more support groups. There needs to be more of these things out there for men. One though, too, at that case. But 100%, there needs to be more of these support groups just out there in general for everything.
If I could add one last thing, I'm going to say something that I've never said on a public platform ever before. I need help sometime. I need to be picked up sometime. Chris, you need it sometime. So what I would say to our audience, the people who love us, even if we never met you before, if you love Chris, say it now. Say it now while he's still alive. If you love me, or if you love anything that I created, or if you admire anything I said, come to my comment section and show me love. Go to my email and show me love. Go to my inbox and show me love. Let it hear
Yeah,
what I'm
don't
saying.
give people their flowers. Love where you're going with this. Don't give people their flowers, or however you want to put it, after they pass away. What does that do for them now? Then nothing.
Yeah. I made a Facebook post. I said, Mr. Calvin was a pillar in his community. People always directed directly toward Mr. Calvin after he's dead. You were such a pillar in the community, Mr. Calvin. We love you. Thank you for being a good football coach in the YMCA. How's he going to check his Instagram notifications if we don't put his phone in his casket when he dies? Say it to him while he's still alive. I can't check my notifications when I'm cremated and I'm out of here. So if you love me or if you love anything that I brought to you, say it to me while I'm still alive. Find me in person and give me a hug and tell me how much you appreciate me. And I will do the same thing for y'all. If I love anything here, even if I disagree, this is why I disagree, but I want to build with y'all. I want to create more good memories than bad memories before I'm out of here. And I encourage you all to do the same.
I love that, man. Thank you again for coming on the show today to share your experience, strength, and hope. Share your message with everyone. It comes around full circle. Again, if there's one thing I could take away, it was right at the end there, man. Show people that the love that you have for them. Tell them something good about themselves that they're doing while they're alive, not after they pass away. And you sit around the casket and telling one another or telling them or making a post, "Oh, he was such an awesome man," or "She was such an awesome woman for all these things she was doing." Why didn't you tell them that when they were alive? I love that, man. Where can everyone find you, though, if they'd like to follow your content, follow your YouTube channel? Let them know where it is, man.
First of all, primarily my YouTube channel, Syndicate The Lonely Gun, SYNDICATE, and then there's a comma, The Lonely Gun, THELONELYGUN. There's a video that tells you why I'm the lonely gun. You'll get into that. Syndicate The Lonely Gun, YouTube, Instagram, Syndicate TLG, SYNDICATETLG on Instagram. Like I said, if you love me, then show me love while I'm still here. I have one question for you, Chris, and this is my last one that I have for you. This is the deepest question that I might ask you forever. If this is your last broadcast, if this is your last message that you can send to the world, and let's say your unfortunate demise is when you go to sleep and you don't wake back up. If this is your last message to the universe, what would you like for the people to know?
I hope you're not pulling any witchcraft
No,
shit
no,
on me
no.
here.
Absolutely right. But we never know
The
when we're
message
gonna
I would
go.
have, though, is hopefully I was able to touch as many people as I could with all the stories I was able to, helping one another get through that dark day. Maybe you just needed to hear that story from that individual I had on my show.
Thank you for sharing your light with us, man. Thank you, friend.
I appreciate you coming on the show today and taking the time out of your day to do the same, man. And I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, Teray.
All right. Have a good one.